Inside a steel tube beneath the Atlantic, time lost meaning. In this journey through the submerged corridors of a World War II submarine, the viewer is invited past the outer legend and into the quiet reality. By the end, the boat becomes less a weapon and more a fragile, crowded world suspended between pressure, duty, and the slow ticking of unseen clocks. The boat lies just below the surface of the North Atlantic, somewhere between a scattered convoy and the long, cold horizon. It is night above, but inside, time is divided by watches, not by sunlight. Red-shaded lamps cast a muted glow over cramped passageways. Men move sideways, shoulders brushing valves and piping, careful not to disturb the delicate order of stowed gear. Air is heavy with diesel fumes, oil, and the faint tang of metal warmed by human breath. Every bunk is shared in rotation. Someone is always sleeping, someone always listening. Procedures govern each action. Hatches dogged shut in a practiced sequence, valves checked by touch as much as by sight, instruments scanned in silence. The submarine is both machine and shelter, its thin hull the only barrier between the crew and the weight of the ocean pressing in from every side. The day's rhythm is dictated by routine and by threat. On the surface, diesel engines thrum through the hull, a constant vibration that rattles cups and tools. Below, batteries feed electric motors with a softer, steadier hum. The crew lives by drills, crash dives rehearsed, until bodies move before thought. Fire procedures, flooding responses, silent running protocols. Each man knows his station in darkness as well as in light. The torpedo room is crowded with cylindrical shapes secured in racks, their mechanisms checked and rechecked by hands stained with grease. In the control room, the periscope well is a narrow column of dim light, surrounded by faces turned toward depth gauges and bearing repeaters. The galley is no larger than a closet, yet it feeds the entire crew in shifts, meals timed around watch changes and operational demands. Space is so limited that personal belongings are tucked into any spare corner, wrapped against moisture and the ever-present condensation that beads on cold steel and drips softly onto the deck. Outside, the war is measured in miles of ocean and in the geometry of convoys. Merchant ships move in ordered columns, escorted by warships that sweep the sea with sonar and radar, listening for the faintest echo of a submerged intruder. Inside the submarine, the battle begins as a study in sound. Hydrophone operators sit with padded earpieces pressed tight, faces expressionless, bodies still. They listen for distant propellers, for the rhythm of screws that reveals ship type and speed. A faint, regular beat might be a freighter. A sharper, more insistent pattern suggests an escort. Bearings are called in low voices, repeated back, plotted on cramped charts. The captain and officers lean over the plotting table, tracing lines of approach and interception, turning the convoy's ordered grid into a shifting puzzle of angles and timing. Every maneuver is constrained by depth, battery charge, and the need to remain unseen. Up to this point, the crew's greatest enemy is fatigue. Watches blur into one another, men wake to the same dim light, the same confined passageways, the same smells of oil, metal, and close-packed bodies. Fresh air is scarce, rationed carefully. When the boat dives, the last breath of the surface lingers only briefly before being replaced by recycled, increasingly stale atmosphere. Carbon dioxide levels rise slowly, heads ache, tempers tighten, but discipline holds. Silence becomes a form of armor. Boots are softened to muffle footsteps, tools are padded, voices drop to whispers. Even laughter, when it comes, is subdued, quickly swallowed by the low murmur of machinery. The submarine is always on the edge of action, yet most of its time is spent waiting waiting for a contact, for an order, for the next change in depth or course that might bring danger closer or carry it away. The hinge comes with a single quiet report from the hydrophone station. A new contact, bearing steady, screws numerous and overlapping. A convoy. The control room tightens around the words. Orders move in a calm, practiced chain. Adjust course, reduce speed, prepare to dive. On the surface, the diesels are throttled back. The familiar vibration fades, replaced by the softer whir of electric motors as the boat slips beneath the waves. Depth increases, meters ticking downward in small, deliberate increments. The hull begins to murmur under pressure, a faint chorus of creaks and groans that everyone hears, but no one comments on. In the torpedo room, crews stand by their tubes, checking settings by touch, listening to the muted commands relayed from the control room. The submarine is now blind to the sky, guided only by instruments and the distant, disembodied sounds of ships it cannot see. From here on, the submarine lives in a narrow band of water between detection and destruction, too shallow, and the periscope risks being spotted by sharp-eyed lookouts or caught in the sweep of a searchlight. Too deep, and the hull strains under the weight of the sea, while torpedo solutions grow complex and battery reserves dwindle. The captain must choose a depth that balances concealment with control, listening to the hydrophone reports as the convoy's sound grows louder, more distinct. Each escort's pattern is tracked, one circling wide, another pacing the flanks, a third weaving ahead. The submarine edges into position, adjusting speed in tiny increments to match the convoy's movement. Inside, the crew moves with deliberate care. Loose items are secured, voices drop even further. In the forward compartment, men sit on their bunks, boots unlaced, listening to the faint thrum of approaching engines through the steel. The air grows warmer, thicker. Condensation gathers on overhead pipes and falls in slow, regular drops. Every sense is tuned to the unseen world beyond the hull, where a misjudged angle or a careless sound could bring escorts turning toward them, sonar beams probing the depths. Those consequences unfold in sound rather than sight. The crew listens for distant, muffled reports that might signal impact, for changes in the rhythm of propellers as ships alter course or slow. If explosions come, they are heard as dull, heavy thuds transmitted through water and steel, followed by a new pattern of noise, escorts accelerating, sonar pulses intensifying, propellers churning in search. The submarine responds by going deeper, easing its way down the water column. The hull creaks more insistently. Valves and gauges are watched with renewed attention. Silent running is ordered. Motors are throttled back, non-essential machinery shut down. Inside, the boat becomes almost still. Men hold tools away from bulkheads, avoid brushing against metal, freeze in place when something clatters. The only constant sounds are the faint whine of the motors and the irregular tapping of water against the outer skin. Depth charges, if they come, are experienced as sudden concussive shocks that make the lights flicker and dust fall from overhead. Each one is followed by a pause, in which everyone listens for the next, counting the seconds, gauging distance and intent. The submarine endures, adjusting depth and course in small, careful steps, trying to slip out of the pattern of search. In these long, tense hours, the submarine's world shrinks to the thickness of its hull and the discipline of its crew. Personal histories, hometowns, and peacetime occupations recede, replaced by the shared reality of confined space and constant vigilance. The war outside is vast, stretching across oceans and continents, but inside the submarine, it is reduced to the glow of instruments, the feel of the deck underfoot, the sound of distant screws and searching sonar. The crew's survival depends less on dramatic action than on the quiet repetition of practice tasks, on trust in training and in one another. For thousands of sailors, the war was not fought with noise, but with silence.